You are makes you a true African. And here at African Kona, we get to remind you why you should be proud of it. Together with the two amazing hosts, Washira and Ali, we get to show you every single Sunday from 8 to 9 p.m. what Africanicity is all about. My good name is Miriam Kirui, and welcome to African Kona.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where and when you are watching us from. My name is Mutaliwa Dawanyaga Mujirwa Baria Karigivi na Gwehoka Kumangogo Shetheria Shumaga Huho Muridayo. Today is the beautiful day. It is the 19th of the second month of the year 2023. We call it Mwezi wa Pili kwa Kiswahili, or February if you're speaking with the language that came with the boat. So tonight is going to be a wonderful night. I can see I have a wonderful panel from Salaam, and oh my, I cannot just wait to have this conversation. I want to begin by saying that I am not going to introduce people here. I'm not even going to say what Salaam is. I'm going to let the people themselves say it for them. Let us hear it from the horse's mouth. And therefore, I'm going to begin here at home or from home. Omar Maulid, please introduce yourself. Tell us what you do, who you are, and what you do in Salaam. And then we also hear from the rest. And now you can be able now to get to hear what Salaam is. Omar?
Yeah, my name again, like Washira said, my name is Omar Berhe Maulid. I'm an entrepreneur. That's my side hustle. I coordinate Salaam efforts out of passion, out of willpower, and out of wanting to see the community change. So, in a snippet, that is me.
Thank you, Omar. And now, because we have only one lady from Uganda, it is your time to introduce yourself.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm called Shaba Ajara. I'm a Ugandan, and I'm the Salaam National Coordinator, Uganda. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashaba. I don't know if I can be able to pronounce your name the way you have done it, but it's okay. It's Africa. Moving on to Tanzania. Watu wa Kiswahili. Waambaje watu wa Tanzania?
Mambo vipi, nashukuru kuwa hapa. My good names are Igusa Muhammad Kapesa, and I am a Salaam country manager or Salaam country coordinator, and I work at CDA Tanzania, and I'm happy to be here in this wonderful platform.
Tunashukuru kaka, asante sana kwa kujiunga na sisi usiku wa leo. And also moving to Rwanda, the country that is giving Kenya a run for its money, especially Kigali. Please, Saidi, introduce yourself.
Hello everyone. In Kinyarwanda we say mulaho neza.
What are we supposed to be responding?
Mulaho neza. Now, even you say mulaho neza. So my name is Saidi. I'm a team leader for Salaam in Rwanda. I'm based in Kigali. For the last few years, I've been working together with the team to push the ideas and the vision of Salaam. Happy to be on this platform.
Thank you, Saidi. Thank you very much, all the way from Rwanda. We do appreciate you tuning live. And before, guys, we get into the topic of tonight, I can see people have already started commenting, and I think people are eager to hear from you guys from Salaam. I can see Senator Raphael saying, good evening. I've already tuned in from Kenya. Thank you, Senator. I can also see Christopher Mwangi saying tuned. Saifan Munda saying new faces, new energy, ready for today's show. We have Sherry Shelley saying tuned. We have Justin Mayogi saying tuned. And Willis Onyengo saying tuned from the greatest +254. Okay, your greatest. I'm the one who has added that there. He hasn't written that. So let us get into the topic of tonight. Omar, we hear salam. Also, sometimes you say shalom. But what is salam? Omar, please tell us or introduce to the show, what is salam?
Yeah, we go by the name Salam or Shalom. Salam in itself, when a Muslim says Assalamu alaikum, they just mean peace be upon you. When a Christian says Shalom, they just mean peace, from the Hebrew language. So basically, what Salam is trying to do, its primary mandate was that it was meant to bridge the divide between Muslims and Christians in places where hostility had set in back in the day. So for variety of reasons, we try work between religious and cultural backgrounds. So I don't know if I've answered it.
If you've answered it, then it will be your fellow people to tell us whether you've answered that question correctly. But since they are here, I'll go to Iguza to tell us whether Omar has answered that question properly. What is salam?
Actually, my brother has answered it correctly, and we are there. Salam actually is an Arabic word, which means peace. And for a program like Salam, what we actually do is to advocate for peace between the Muslim brothers and Christians, in advocating for peace, but not only peace and reconciliation. Yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of what we call diversities, and maybe majoring on minors, something small that can divide us, and there are other people who are measuring on what divide us. So for us, what we are there is to bridge the gap and see how best we can work together as children of God. Like if you would read all the scriptures, they will tell you about peace, advocating for peace, and therefore we are there to advocate for peace.
Thank you, Guza. I like the way you're saying like children of God, because all of us in Africa, we are all children of God, despite various religions and various beliefs. But Saidi, do you think there is anything that Omar and Iguza has left out in when you are asked the question, what is Salam?
So whenever I'm introducing a new member to Salam, I start with calling that person a friend. So Salam, we are here to forge relationships across anything that can divide humanity, and especially youth. If we don't teach youth how to love one another, someone else will come and teach them how to hate each other. Yet people are not going to be uniform. We are going to be different, but we have a choice to live with one another and to be friends. Most of the times we have a choice to choose our friends, but in many instances we don't have a choice to choose our neighbor. What if your neighbor is different? Are you not going to stay with him? So find a way to be a friend with a neighbor who is different from you. Yeah.
Thank you, Saidi, for that. And Ashaba, allow me to go back to you. I don't know if there's anything that you feel the gentleman has left behind, or the gentleman has left behind. But also, as you answer that question, also allow me to ask you, how did Salam or Shalom came to be? What happened? What is the history behind it that now you guys decided, we need this organization to be in place? Ashaba?
Thank you. I do not think it's leaving anything per se, but perhaps supplementing that we don't just focus on creating like-minded peers, just like Omar said. We move to inspire and guide and lead by example, by bringing everyone on board, watching how we interact with people and making sure that we are not prejudiced basing on what the backgrounds of the people are. how Salaam came to be, Salaam has been in existence since 2014. It was started by three gentlemen. One is an Abu Bakr, another one is Faizo. Shockingly, Faizo is a Christian, Abu Bakr is a Muslim, and another one is Jaged Abdul Samad. The three of those are Ugandans, and they had been baffled by their different backgrounds. What is common with almost all of us in Africa is that our elders, same lineage, normally have different religions. For example, my grandparents were Catholics and Anglicans, but my parents are Muslim, and you can never tell what becomes of my children. So because of that, they grew up listening to different views. Abu Bakr normally cites an example. He's a young man. He normally cites an example that his grandfather's side were Catholics and the grandmother's side were Muslim, and the fact that they used to tell each other that they would go to hell inspired something in him that these are both really good people. Why don't we try to find something that is good and use it to unite ourselves rather than, focusing on things that divide us? So that is how the idea of Salaam came to be. It was liked by one of the co-founders of Cornerstone. His name is Tim Crowther, and that way Salaam got funded and pushed. So 2014 till today.
Appreciate that, Ashaba. Appreciate that. I hope people are learning, because I'm also learning. I'm also getting the history from Ashaba. I'm also getting from the gentleman what Salaam is. I think by now people understand. And even if you don't, I think you now have an idea of what Salaam is. However, I can also see more comments coming in. Allow me just to read them through. I can see Odoro Mondi saying Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda, and Tanzania. Wow. This is just amazing to see the face of East Africa represented here. Senator Raphael is saying now, indeed, the panel is wonderful. Salam alaikum. And I think he has been answered by Nyambu saying wa alaikum salam. And Kevin Derito saying, keeping Africa together by having a diverse show. Good work. Washira speaks. And also Yusuf Athman saying, following closely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Continue sending in your comments so that you can react to them. If you have any questions directed to any of them or all of them, don't forget to post it there. Don't fear to ask any question. It is an open show where we get to ask questions, the real questions. And talking of the real questions, let me start with Omar now. You see, you are talking about bringing the doctrines of like the two major religions together, Christianity and Muslim. And I do understand, or rather in my personal opinion, I don't think that is easy. How do you guys do that? How are you able to do that? Because sometimes in this part of Africa, and especially in the continent, these two religions do not see eye to eye, especially in Kenya. How do you do that, Omar? Omar, you're muted. Check on that.
Yeah. So,
go ahead.
Salaam Mentorship Program recognizes shared values and principles moving across Christianity and Islam, and it seeks to promote a common ground between the two. The program uses teachings from the Bible, the Quran, to promote respect, understanding, and tolerance among the two different groups. So the program emphasizes on the importance of just people being on the same table, having conversations, sharing a meal, be it a cup of coffee, be it lunch. And one of our primary hope was that we hope that the more these two kind of interact, share meaningful conversations, we are going to actually have an aspect of unity, peace within the community. Some of those misunderstandings are just going to wave over in time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Omar, for that. Because to me, I really find this interesting. As I was sharing with you, Omar, I really find Salaam interesting, because I don't know how you guys are able to do that, and the fact that you try to bring these people together in that way and the manner that you're doing it is just wonderful, according to me. And that brings me to the question that I want to ask Saidi. especially from Rwanda. Rwanda is coming from a time where in the 1994 we had the genocide that was, really something that is not worth to repeat itself in Africa. And now we had all the trouble brought, although political, and then we also understand Rwanda is also a unique country in East Africa because you also have people who speak in French now, and also we have these various religions. How is Salaam in Rwanda, Saidi? Maybe you can just paint a picture for us how Salaam operates there and how you do it there. Let me. You're muted.
Thank you for the question. Greetings once again from Kigali, the most beautiful city in the world, if I can say, especially in Africa. Ashaba has been in Rwanda for, I think, last month. She can attest to that.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter the history we had, darker times we had for the last 20, almost 30 years ago, Rwanda is a different country. And from what the government is doing, we as a Salaam, we are pushing, we are trying to do the same work, learning from the government, how the government brings people together. Or we're also trying to bring different youth from different backgrounds, from different religions. Of course, Salam is a new concept, it's a new idea, but we push it because we believe in it. We believe in peace, we believe in unity, we believe in diversity. So we push it because we love peace. So in Rwanda, our work is grounded on small groups, but we do it through friendships. If you have a friend who's a Christian, you tell him to bring a friend who is a Muslim. If you have a friend who is a pagan, you tell him to connect with a friend who is from different backgrounds. And mostly Rwanda, we speak one language, primarily Kinyarwanda, so it's not hard for us to communicate.
Yeah.
Though most of our work is done in English because most of the young people use English, so it's not hard. Though Salam in a way it's an idea that can change people's mind, but it takes time because for the I think for centuries, young people like us have never initiated a concept like this to bring people from different backgrounds. People have never talked to people who have never greeted each other, but they are from the same families, they are from the same neighborhoods. But we see working as we learn good things from Muslims, we learn some good things from Christians, and we see young people embracing it.
Thank you, Saidi, for that. Well, you have said Kigali is the most beautiful city in the world, but we'll agree to disagree because despite the fact that you guys are giving us stress here in Nairobi, but I believe in Nairobi we are still holding that position. But that's a topic for another day. Iguza, I don't know if you want to defend your city, or you learn to tell us how Salaam operates in Tanzania, because now Tanzania is also unique in its own way. Unlike Saidi's country, Rwanda, there I do understand most of you speak in Swahili, and also and it's a little bit different. The dynamics is different comparing it to Kenya, comparing it to Uganda, and also comparing it to Rwanda. How is Salaam in Tanzania, Igusa?
Thank you, Brother Wachira. I cannot argue in the side of cities, but I know Dar es Salaam is a beautiful city, and of course, up with Nairobi together with Rwanda and like that in Kigali. Yeah, but initially, what I could say for us in Tanzania, and I'm seeing the progress. For us, we picked the vision of Salaam 2016, and by then I was a coordinator. Up to date, we are 117 members in 8 chapters, and 43% are the Muslims and 57% are the Christians. And what we have been doing, actually, the reason as to why I picked the interest with Salaam is that Salaam doesn't convert anyone, doesn't convert a Muslim to be a Christian, or a Christian being a Muslim, or a certain sect, maybe a Pentecostal, like it's a wonderful sect than maybe Catholics. No, it doesn't initiate it that way. But what actually Salaam does is to help you understand being a good Christian and being a good Muslim, how you can relate with Muslim brothers and sisters, how you can be a good friend toward your neighbor, whom perhaps you have never grown with, you have never come in the same cultural background, and so forth. Yeah, so to me, I found it very interesting to an extent. It started challenging me myself. How best do I know my faith? How best do I know other people's faith? Because I have a lot of ignorances basing on other people's faith. And at some point in time, I can be judgmental while I'm wrong. Why? Maybe it's because of the societies we are coming from. I might be a Muslim, as I am. I might be condemning a Catholic, but in a real sense, it's because I've been taught on one way to hate the Catholics. So to me, I took trouble. I took trouble to understand my faith, even though to that large extent, but the small that I know. And I started following up people who can really add value into what I know. And I've been challenging myself to read the gospel. Recently, I've been reading the gospel. This is the second time. And one of the verses that I can say in the book of Matthew chapter 5, verse 9, in the words of Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, he said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God." In the other part of it, I've been reading also in the Islamic context, which I'm at least so much knowledgeable, from two hadiths from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said to his companions, which it also reaches to us, that the best act of charity is to reconcile among people. That's one. Two, he also said, can I tell you something which is more powerful than prayers, than fasting, is to reconcile among people. Why did he initiate that? Because if you have someone in a society who is an hypocrite, he's the one who can destroy a reputation, a good relationship, can make you hate one another, can make you fight. So such powerful messages from these giant prophets from the Islamic context. These are people of God who came back and give us the Quran together with the Injil. And God actually emphasizes in the pillars of Islam. The third pillar says, believe the books and the messengers of God. Now, if I come to analyze all these acts, all these books, all these words, all these statements, I feel like I have a lot in me. And once I have this concept, I should be able to give back to the fellows. And it's what I've been trying to do. I challenge them to become better Christian and better Muslims. I don't tell them be a Muslim or be a Christian, but just be a good Muslim, just be a good Christian. In that way, we are maintaining love and relationship for so long as we live. That's what have given me more energy to keeping on each day.
Thank you. Wow, wonderful. I just like the way you are bringing both the concepts together. The way you're quoting the Bible and the Quran, and also wonderful. Just Omar was doing the same with me the other day, and I was just amazed. How do you do that? But this is wonderful. If this is the kind of content that we have in Salaam, hey, then I'm challenged. I can see a comment that has come just been posted there, but before I read it or we go through it, Ashaba, we save the best for last, and you see, since you're the only lady here, so we save the best for last. Want to also tell us how is Salaam in Uganda? How does it operate in Uganda? What do you do in Uganda as Salaam?
Thank you. The Salaam standard operating procedure is that we have bi-weekly conversations. Our groups are really small. We concentrate on having 12 members. It's like the Jesus disciple story, that you entrust your message with 12 people, and each of the 12 people speaks to 12 people, and that way you start small and you're able to spread your word to a whole lot of other people. So how when we meet, we don't have exactly religious conversations. I think that we should be really specific on that. So the first thing, meetings start with a prayer. The prayer, we have the opening and the closing prayer. So the opening prayer can be said by a Christian, and the closing prayer can be said by a Muslim. Thing is, the religion that says the opening prayer cannot be the religion that says, rather the group that says the closing prayer. And then we do bread breaking. When we meet, we eat. Just like I said at the beginning of the show, we work with young people, so we make it as much fun as possible. And then we make sure that the topic of the day, we pick neutral topics. And you could pick peace, you could pick forgiveness, you could pick strength. We make sure that we pick conversations that affect people of the communities, minus discriminating. Yeah, so if you have to discuss the political economy, we don't really discuss politics, but if you discuss people that run around the political economy and the social structure of where we come from, that way you're discussing something that affects people regardless of their religion, where they belong, culture, or whatnot. Yeah, but we make sure that we back our conversations with quotings, either from, rather both from the Quran and the Hadith, that's for the Muslims, and from the Bible, especially the Gospel, for the Christians. I also would like to point out that Salaam emulates the example of Jesus Christ. The reason why we picked Jesus, or for the Muslims, Nabi Isa, is because he's the uniting factor, not just for the Muslims and Christians, but for the Buddhists, for the Hindus, for every other person in the world recognizes that there was a Jesus Christ, and he was a Prince of Peace, and he's someone that despite where we belong, we can learn a lot from. So that's how Salaam in Uganda majorly operates. And our grounds are small groups. Yeah, just like I said, 12-member groups, and then we hold events sometimes on a monthly basis. It could be an outreach, we collect items and we go visit people that may need help, or we just gather around somewhere and have speakers that speak to the message of Salaam, and we get people list number 80 to 100.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashaba, for that. I can see some comments coming in. The one comment has been sent in our private chat here. Allow me to read it. It's from Innocent from Salaam in Rwanda, saying, I'm in love with this. Forget the 1994 genocide against Tutsi. We have to live harmoniously and peacefully. We shall be one regardless of our culture and our faith differences. Thank you. Thank you for that. I can see now other comments that are posted on YouTube. Allow me to read them. From Nyambu. Let me not read the first name. I don't want to do injustice to that name. Let me just say Nyambu because it is easy. He's saying, Omar has mentioned about having conversations. Thinking of it even as African and as African youth change can begin by just having conversations. Important, close to heart conversations. Thank you for that comment. I can see Nixon Manich saying, Nikki Manich, live from Embu, this amazing Washira and the team. Thank you, Nick, from Embu. Embu, for the non-Kenyans here, is just a part of Kenya. It's in the central part of the country. I can see Odoro Mondi saying, indeed, our thoughts can be self-fulfilling prophecies. The way we think of and about the world can turn to be the world around us. How can we channel these thoughts? Process in mentoring our peers. We will be reacting to that. Saidi, take note of that. I would like you to respond to that question. He's asking in how can we channel this thought process in mentoring our peers? We'll get back to that. We have Mary Wanjiko saying, wonderful panel, keep up guys, thank you very much. And also see Joseph Ruto saying, I am loving the values in Salaam. Wonderful. Thank you, Joseph. You are yet to see the best. This is just the beginning. I don't know what you'll do. If you already love them, I don't know what you'll do next. So allow me to go back to Saidi so that you can respond to this question from Odoro Mondi. Can you respond to this, Saidi, please?
So let me try my best. But I will start with the experience I had with my brother. So even in my family, I was born in a mixed family. My mom was a Catholic, and my dad was a Muslim. So my first name, those who are watching, I have Said is a Muslim, then Twajed is a Catholic name. So you can see the trouble I grew up in. So through those struggles, now I'm able to unite people, to bring people, to be like a bridge. Back to her question, I think the best thing for us youth is that we don't have much things in our mind. But the best thing we have now is that to be able to learn and unlearn. We have people who grew up in families where they told them to hate them. There are people who are different from them. But now we have Salaam that is teaching us you can't only live with the people you look like only. You have to make a step and go make friendship with the people who are different from you. For us, in Salaam, we are lucky to have people like Uncle Tim. Uncle Tim is like our patron, is our mentor. We are able to have all these ideas. We are able to do all this work because we have Uncle Tim. So I would encourage this person to join a Salaam small group wherever she is, or start one there, and from there we have the materials. We have people like Omar in Kenya. We have Gabriel who will be able to share most of the things we learn in the smaller groups. We have a curriculum. We have different books. We have different videos. It's all about joining the movement. I like her passion. I like that is able to ask these hard questions. If she can join one of the Salaam small group in Kenya, or start one, initiate one, and be that person to bring people together. Maybe you have a story like me, but you can change it. Instead of being the box, you can open the box, then stand on the box.
Thank you, Saidi, for that. Okay, just for the record, Odoromondi is a he. Maybe the name confuses, but I can see Innocent from Salaam, Rwanda, has responded to Saidi by saying that your name has an influence in itself. So I think that is interesting there. Going back to the comments, I can see Andrew, well done, saying I is keenly following, and Natasha Manda saying just tuned in. Nyambu is right. However, just to add on to Nyambu's words, I think conversation should be followed by positive action. Loving the show already, guys. Thank you, Natasha, for that. Omar, back to you now. You see, we are talking about Christians. You talk about Muslims. And maybe there is somebody somewhere watching us, or also in your spaces wherever you guys meet and has heard of you, is asking, what about other people who are not, they're not Christians, they're not Muslims, they are maybe other religions, or maybe they don't even have a religion in the first place. We have that kind of people. And since this is an African show, or maybe there are people who are African traditionalists. They believe in the gods of their forefathers and all that. Are they accommodated in Salaam? And how do you guys go about that in your organization?
Salaam is pretty open. We are open to taking anyone who is willing to accommodate humanity, anyone who is willing to walk the journey of eliminating stereotypes. So, for instance, one of some of them will kind of work with. I work with leaders. Some of them are community leaders. I've worked with high school students. I have worked with university students, and one key element is that we are in the business of eliminating stereotypes. We're in the business of making peace. We're in the business of reconciling people. And I don't think I can echo this enough. And I also don't want to repeat what has been said within the place. And if I'm asking this question correctly, it's that you're welcome.
Yeah.
We are there for you, are here for you, and you're always welcome in our spaces. So we have people who don't believe in Christianity and also who don't believe in Islam. Some of them are my friends who are up and personal. But as long as you hold in the, because when we talk of Jesus or Nabi Isa, we are not talking of him as the religious person. You look at Jesus, he's whom you can talk to about or with from any country. So let's say Muslims view him as a prophet. He also has the name Masih, meaning Messiah, same as Christians. You go to the Jews, he has a name. You go to the Buddhist, he has a name. So the atheist, again, he's viewed as a great teacher. So his values, his persons, his precepts is something that you just can't argue about if you are human enough. So we are open. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Omar, for that. I'm glad to hear that you guys are open. And tunasema kwa Kiswahili milango ziko wazi, wamekaribishwa. Wonderful. You know, Igusa, there's something that you mentioned that I like you also to extrapolate and talk about it in depth or briefly in depth, you know, because when I got to know about Salaam, I knew it with this concept, and that is reconciliation. Igusa, if you can maybe extrapolate on that, you were saying something on that. Please tell us, why is it important for reconciliation in Africa, in the world, and especially for Salaam? Why is reconciliation a topic that should be talked about, and how do you guys go about that?
Well, thank you, Brother Wachira. And to me, it goes back with the history. If you would look, maybe to set apart from the faith, if you'd look how Africa got independence from colonialism, you'll only see brutalness in it. You'll only see harsh methods to some extent. But there are other great leaders who chose peace. I would quote from Mandela. After being imprisoned for 27 years, with the outcome from apartheid policies and all other discriminations, when Mandela got out of prison, one of his speeches, he said, "We don't choose to hate or to do revenge, but to build a nation." And how did this guy attain that? He did not tell the white people or the colonialists to go back. He knew the state of South Africans. The white people has done a lot. They have industries, factories, skills, machines, technology on how to operate things. These people who are my friends, they don't have that context. It's a high time for them to gain skills, confidence on how we can use this machine, how we can exploit the skills, and tomorrow or after some good time, we can be able to operate on our own. It's one of the reasons I think South Africa is far way beyond, perhaps maybe than my country. So to me, the concept of reconciliation is so powerful. Why? Because it actually calls for cooperation. It actually calls for mutual understanding. By the way, it's an act in a way that I need you, you also need me in a different way. You see that? So in the same context, I was also reading the scripture challenging myself. Yeah, there is a verse that Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, had quoted in the Bible, and he said, we should actually try to get this attribute of godly from God himself. And Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, he said, you see, like the Heavenly Father, how he does, if he brings a rain upon the earth, he doesn't give it to the righteous alone. He pours rain in the righteous and to unrighteous people. Even if it's sun, he causes it to rise to the righteous people. So him is just unconditional. So if you tend to master those attributes, that whatever I'm going through as a human being, what I allow other people to do to me, I would actually try to do the same way. So to me, it's an act of reconciliation. So sometimes I tend to challenge myself and the people around me.
Mhm.
There's a lot that is not made from Christians or from Muslim. For example, these clothes, I even don't know who made it. Is it a Christian or a Muslim? But I put it on in a way that I cover myself and I'm respectable somewhere where we go. So the
Yeah.
concept of reconciliation in Salaam is very powerful. We have been growing up in a societies, we have been brainwashed, maybe to hate the Christians, to hate the Muslims, or to hate a particular sect, or it defines you. And if you, like my brother Said How was saying it, if you choose to stay inside the box, it's your choice, or to stay on top of the box in a way that you are free to learn. You are free to learn. You are free to get education. You are free to get a mentor who someone can guide you in a certain aspect. So reconciliation is a very powerful act in a way. It actually like a step forward for you to say, you're welcome, I'm willing to learn from you. You're also willing to learn from me. I was also challenging the other guys back in like 2 weeks ago. We were not there where Jesus Christ, when Jesus Christ was born, or even Prophet Muhammad was born. But all these things we have just received from the people who were there, or maybe have been witnessing these people. If this message has been traveled for like 1,000 years back, can we take the same message and transmit it to the next generation?
Yes.
Yeah, so to me, it's very powerful in a way that I'm burdened. There's a way I have to take this responsibility, taking this beautiful message and take it to the next generation. Yeah, so it's like that because we shall all be accountable in a way that which we know. So if you choose to be an evil person, you can choose, you can do evil things. But if you choose to be a righteous person and make a friends and make a society work, in a way we are building a community that is beneficial, that is friendly. We can do everything in a harmonious way and we can support one another. So Salaam actually does that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot, and hopefully we are there.
Thank you. Thank you, Gusa, for that. You know, there's some people they don't want to send comments on YouTube, but they're sending them on my WhatsApp, on my inbox in WhatsApp, and they're loving this. They're loving the way you guys are bringing the two concepts together, the way you are quoting it, and the way you are open and open to everybody, as in the way we have said to watu wamekaribishwa. Let me go to Ashaba and let me get a little bit personal. Not that personal, but let me get a little bit personal. Ashaba, why is Salaam so important to you? Why do you, as an individual now, not as the coordinator for Uganda, but as an individual, why is it passionate to you? Why did you even join it in the first place? Let us understand that. Ashaba?
To be fair, I did join Salaam for the message, but I'm an extremely loyal person, and like I said at the beginning, one of the co-founders, Abu Beka, is a very close friend of mine. He asked me to come with him to meet some friends, and I went there. And when I reached, the message was resonating with me. I am from a very staunch Muslim family, and I went to Christian schools, and I did CRE from senior 1 to senior 6. So I have a very good sort of grasp of Christianity, and I do not like or believe in the idea that Christians are taking the wrong way, if anyone implies that. And like I said, from a staunch Muslim family, I have read the Quran, I have seen the Hadith, I have moved around the Ijman, the Ijtihad. The lawyer in me gets controversial, and I question these things from time to time, but it's a very fine message. If you haven't read the Quran, grab it, you read it, you will love it. So if you look at both sides, they have cases that you won't choose between. I mean, for me, I wasn't able to pick who is right and who is wrong. Yeah, because the Christians call on Christ and they perform miracles, and you just can't say that is fake all the time. And the Muslims, the Quran just can't be a lie. If you look at the scientific facts that were there, for a book that was written 1400 years ago, then if you think that someone faked it, then something has to be wrong with you. So at the end of the day, I looked at the humanity in me and the universality of the human aspect in us, and my daily struggles with religion. There are times I'm so mad at Islam, there are times I'm really mad at Christianity, and there are times I'm indifferent. So because of the internal struggle within me that questions these things from time to time, and the fact that thinking that I'm Muslim and the Christians are wrong, or the Buddhists, or the Hindus are wrong, just doesn't sit well with me. Yeah, so me thinking that there can't possibly be a universal religion is the reason I resonated with the message of Salaam. That's part one. Part two, Salaam uses an example of a man that is recognized by very many people, by very many sects. Yeah, so Christians do not believe that Muhammad was a significant person, at least for the religious part. And Muslims think of Christ in a negligible manner, but they recognize his contributions towards religiosity and humanity. Yeah. So I looked at someone that we could sit and think and discuss and agree with some of the aspects of his mission and message. And I figured this is a place I could fit right in. Yeah, it's okay for me to be Christian today and Muslim, and tomorrow and atheist, the next day and non-religious, the fourth day. Salaam allows you to do that. Yeah.
Thank you, Ashaba. And before we move on to the next person, there's a question ready for you from Odoromondi saying that since Salaam/Shalom inception in 2014, it stands on religion in politics. How has it achieved coexistence with the secular, that is the different religious beliefs, system of governance in Africa? Ashaba?
I want to interest the gentleman and the rest of the people watching in the mission statement of Salaam. Yeah, our mission was creating a movement of like-minded people revolving around the principles of love, integrity, friendship, and reconciliation among people of different religious and cultural backgrounds. Yeah, so we don't, whether political or religious, Salaam understands that these concepts are there, and we don't tackle them head on, but we look forward to shifting mindsets. We don't care if someone is Said will protest if I mention the words Tutsi and Hutu. They are kind of outlawed in Rwanda, but it does not matter if one supports Ruto or the other supports Odinga, and it doesn't matter if you're from Museveni or anti-Museveni in Uganda. It doesn't matter if you think that America is right and Russia is wrong. Salaam is not where we sit and we tackle these issues head on, as in the political and the religious. No, for us, we look at the humanity in the people. We say that I am a Shaba, I am female, I'm a lawyer, I'm a Ugandan. The other one is Omar, he's Kenyan, he's a Naiti guy, but we are from different countries. Now, at the end of the day, what really unites us, it's the fact that we are both people. Yeah, and then we concentrate on the things affecting us. We are both youths. So what affects us? Do we have money? No. Do we have jobs? Maybe, maybe not. And how we're struggling through life. So we look at, the different aspects of life that affect people, and we use those to establish conversations amongst people that are different, white, black, Yeah, so for example, if I started discussing peace, a Kenyan will remember the violence of latest 2007, 2008. A Tanzanian will remember the bombings of around 1999. Rwandan will remember 1994. A Ugandan will remember, well, let's just concentrate around 81, 86. But at a certain point in the past 50 years, the countries have had to go through bloodshed. Yeah. So Salaam concentrates on such things that affect all of us, that can generate conversations. And that way, we sit for an hour or two. And by the time our conversations end, we have not argued, we have not gone religious or political, but we have discussed something like peace or hunger or cohesion that at the end of the day applies to all of us. So if someone asks me how Salaam has achieved coexistence with the secular systems of governance in Africa, it's basically around what we do. And I think I will quickly state the objectives of Salaam, which is building meaningful long-term relationships. And I'm going to state the last one, which is the fourth, fostering servant-based leadership. We look forward to creating influencers in communities that can take messages of peace that bring our people together, despite the very many different things that could have us going different ways.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashabo, for that. That was wonderful, and I hope Odor has been answered.
Yeah,
I can see.
Allow me, Oshel, to just add on that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and we kind of would love to assume that these are issues that are happening just out there on politics, or maybe they're just no longer there. I'm a Pokomo, and I come from a community where you walk into the towns, you walk into the villages, they are literally divided into Muslims and Christians. You don't see Christians building in Muslim-related groups, and you don't see Muslims on the same accord building in Christian-related places. So someone would possibly say that this is just a mindset, you can just have it, it's just another thing another organization is doing. I'm doing it because in one capacity or the other one, it is affecting us directly. We do it all the way back to 2018 when we had a lot of terror attacks happening almost 3 times, 4 times a week. We had bus bombs, we had a lot happening. Speaking of this year, we have had almost 12 terror-related events up to now, Oshira. So you can imagine how bad it is, and they are spread just across. Some of them happening in Moyale, some of them happening elsewhere. So this is an ideology this is a mindset that someone should actually have, someone should live with. And Salaam should be more of a mindset. Salaam should be more of a movement that people will want to just transform culture, how people view life, how people walk through life. So it is not just something you're just doing out there. It's something I'm doing out of passion because it affects me as a human directly. I'm not speaking for the others because I know they also have their own issues, but it sinks deep than just being a mindset.
Thank you, Omar, for that clarification. Thank you. I can see Samuel Mogai saying, learning to accept people with different ideologies, good work, Salaam, and Washira speaks. I can also see Dunga saying that humanitarian approach, love it 100. I can see also somebody by the name Ken 2.0, and he's saying, what are some of the challenges that you guys think are facing reconciliation efforts in Africa, and what can we as youth do to promote the same? I would like to direct this question to Saidi. Can you react to that? Because I remember Gusa had talked about reconciliation. Let us hear from you, and especially as you're reacting to this question.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you guys for the good work and the way I like the way I like your passion, the way you answering. So on top of that, in Sudan, we want people to join us, but they join us with a mindset, open mindset, to learn from the people, but also to become better people. So one of the challenge I've encountered at the personal level is that when people see me being the bridge, they become confused. Now they begin to say, "Are you a Christian? Are you a?" They start to call me different things. But yet, I have gained much more if I don't do that. So whether you're a Muslim or a Christian, when you are part of Salaam, we encourage you to become a better Christian, a better Muslim. But people, when people see youth coming to Salaam, they think they are coming to be converted, or they are leaving their religion, and they think they are in the middle. You find some people are calling them, you are a Catholic, Muslim follower of Jesus. You see, there is a way people who are not in the smaller groups tend to misunderstand Salaam. I think that's a major challenge. That's a major challenge, that for people who are not in Salaam, they take us in a way that we are not. They think we are not on the either side. Yet members in our smaller groups are far growing, because we have souls. Our souls have to grow. If you are Muslim, we want to see you growing. If you come to Salaam as a Muslim, go back as a better Muslim. If you come to Salaam when you are a Christian, go back as a better Christian. If you come to Salaam when you are nothing, at least you go back as a better human being. So maybe I will end with a quotation from Mother Teresa. Those who know Mother Teresa, she said, "We don't have peace because we forget that we belong to one another." Whether a Muslim or Christian, you belong to each other. We are one people. We have blood. We all get hungry. You see, there is a scenario. There is a story from one of our smaller group. One is a Muslim, another one is a Christian. They fell sick at night. He tried the numbers from the village. No one was responding. Then he called the fellow friend in the same room, and the same person took him to the hospital. He was on him the whole night. So imagine that scenario. If they were not friends, unfortunately, the person would die. You see? So we believe once you join Salaam, you become a better human being. You become whatever you are. You become better of it in a positive way. And from the Bible, Jesus, I will paraphrase it, that if we lift Jesus up, he will draw all men together. We've learned from it, and we are getting better because we are taking Jesus as our common ground.
Yeah. Thank you, Saidi, for that. Let me cross borders all the way to Tanzania. Let me be optimistic now. Let me not ask the challenges and the problems. Let us be a little bit optimistic. What are the success of Salaam, Shalom, not only in the region, but also more specifically in Tanzania? Igusa, what are some of the successes that you can say, you know what, at least we have done that?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I can say the influence, number one success is the influence at which we cause for Salaam.
Yeah.
Especially, I could say, where schools, particularly where I work, there's a school called Cornerstone Leadership Academy. Charity begins at home. And for us, what we do, we set some time for these students in months, once or twice. We can meet them and tell them something related to Salaam, kind of a peaceful movement, in a way that they can coexist with Muslim brothers and sisters. So this influence has been much more to these students, and they know how to live in a community where there is Christians and Muslims, how to respect their books, how to respect their traditions, how to respect their values, and how to get into an equal agreement between the two. These people have been finishing senior 6, have been going back to campus, and they are the one who are taking leadership in the campuses. They are the one who have been taking leadership in just a certain course. They have been one to take leadership in small groups. So these people are the ones who have been actually advocating for peace. How? In a way, they go in one-on-one conversations with different people at campus and tell them the ideology of Salaam. So it's something new, presentable to people who have not been exposed in a reality of how Muslim and Christian brothers, they can coexist. So with the influence these people have been getting and have been doing it at campus and community level, it has actually been so powerful. That's one. But two, these people have been able to come across together by having like a bonding together. They ownership. They contribute their own money and they go to touch the community, especially the needy people, not under the label of Christians or under the label of Muslims, but as Salaam members. They have been able to print their own t-shirt, like how my brother is putting on, Mr. Omari. We have been able to print out t-shirts for Salaam. So we go not under the label of Christians or Muslim, but as members of Salaam. And this has been drawing attention. Like you people, okay, can you tell me a little bit about Salaam? What do you do? What? How can I get to you? How can I be part of you? And it's from there that attention and the curiosity of how we do things, it goes extra miles of seeing there are good people in this planet. So the influence is big. I can even tell you the difference between Muslim and Christian brothers and sisters in Salaam, 47.3 to 57, a difference of some 70%. It's not so much bad. And truth to be told, there are strategic places like Zanzibar where 99% are Muslims. We have a center there. We have a chapter there is operating Salaam. Surprisingly, there are 22 members in total. And 10 of them are Christians. 12 of them are Muslims. And these people have been coexisting together. So I think there is a lot of influence that we are trying to impose into the society that we can actually, not only in society means, but as a spiritual being, we can sit together and discuss matters that we are bound together into. So that is how Tanzania has been making so much progress. But another one, allow me to just finishing up with this thing. We have been able to have conversations with the sheikhs and the pastors who are open. I've been telling them sincerely that we have been having a group of members who are Muslim and Christians. They are open to listen to the teachings of a Christian and to the teachings of Muslims. And what we have been actually trying to do is to avoid or to eliminate the misconceptions and the biasness that we have been for the good time being told by our maybe madrasa teachers or school teachers or the societies that we are coming from. And these people, to some extent, they have loved the vision and they have been part of our seminars. They have been coming in small groups for fellowships, and they have been trying to bring out this message in a more, like a specific way as Muslim could bring into mosque or pastors bring that message to the church. And they have been bringing it to a context of small groups in seminars, in together fellowships. And it has been powerful. Of recently, last year, it was the same, it was a collusion between Quaresma, the Catholics knows it better, and the Ramadan for the Muslims. And these people, they would eat together for the supper. They would eat together, fellowship together. So we have taken it in a way that we see we are living an exemplary life that God in heaven actually admires, and we are taking that message to the rest of the community. So I think for us, we've been doing that.
Thank you, Gusa, for that. I love the positive messages coming from you. I mean, the report that you're giving us, actually there is positive response to this. And speaking of t-shirts, Omar, you should get me a Salaam t-shirt so that I can also give you our Shira Speaks t-shirt like the one I'm wearing now, so that we can do exchange. I really love to have a Salaam t-shirt, and I give you a Shira Speaks t-shirt. Anyway, allow me to... you should. And Omar, still on you, please respond to this. I can see there's a question from Kevin Derito saying, what mechanisms are Salaam or is Salaam using to spread the message to everyone? Social media links, we connect and share. Please, Kevin, respond to, Omar, respond to Kevin.
Yeah, so thank you, Kevin, for the question. That means we are gaining traction, we're getting somewhere. So for Salaam Kenya, we've been in operation since 2019, September. And we majorly have been trying to tread lightly in the ground by just not speaking out so loud. But I was looking back at the data of last year, and we have touched almost 3,500 lives. So we have spoken to 3,000 people, and we've had organizations who have accepted us wholeheartedly. So moving forward, I think it's a strategy to just have online communities, to have platforms, to have online audiences, and as Salaam regionally, I am assuming I'm speaking for everyone that I think it's our first YouTube cast. This is our first time that we are going, I think, all out. Apart from a few mentions here and there online, but we've not publicly just gone out and saying that this is what we are doing, this is how we are doing it. So moving forward, I think there will be more. I think Salaam is going to venture outside.
Yeah. Thank you, Omar. Thank you for that, and thank you everyone in the panel. But before we wrap up the show, because I can see now time is not on our side, allow me to ask each one of you to give their final comments as we wrap up the show. And I'm going to begin with the only lady in the house, the lady from Uganda, Banangi. I don't know how they say it, but please give us your final comments and anything that you might want to share with us. Ashaba? Ashaba, if you can hear me. I don't know if Ashaba can hear me.
Oh, sorry, I was still muted.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was saying that thank you very much for having us, and thank you, Omar, for rallying us. And in a very special way, I thank the guys that took an hour off and used their data to, join us online. Thank you, everyone. For Salaam, you don't have to be a member of a group, of a set group somewhere. We are still pretty small. We are not scattered throughout the East African region, at least in the countries where we operate from. But you can live the Salaam way. Yeah, you can be more tolerant. You can be more cohesive. You can, talk to people regardless of their political or religious or cultural backgrounds. Yeah, so despite not being a member of a Salaam group, you can still be a member of Salaam by championing the message of Salaam, which is peace and reconciliation to the rest of the world. Because as a continent, as a world, if you look at what is happening in the world, if you look at what is happening in Israel and Palestine and Syria and the Uyghur in China, you notice that we could really use some more love, some more talking. And we are not saying that we want to go all big. We don't want to go all out. We know that that's impossible. Just start small. Start by speaking to your neighbor. Start by reconciling your heart with people that you hate for no reason. As humans, there are those times you look at someone and you just don't like them. So we can start by tackling things like that. Start with yourself. I don't think that it's just a Ugandan proverb. I think it's shared everywhere that when you're starting to count sand, you start with the sand that you're standing in. So let's start with ourselves. Let's be more peaceful. Let's be more loving. Our world could use a lot of that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ashaba, for that. Saidi, what are your final comments as we wrap up?
I want to thank everyone, my fellow panelists. Actually, these are my friends. These are the people we talk every week. And I think before Salaam, I didn't know them. And we are like brothers and sisters. Yet one is in Kigali, another one is Nairobi, another one is in Dar es Salaam. And you can see the beauty of Salaam. So to summarize, I want to encourage members that you may not belong to one thing, maybe let me say religion, but you can be a friend to that person. You can major on majors and minor on minors. And to me, Salaam, the whole thing is about friendship, long-term friendship. That when I go to when I go to Arusha, I don't have to book a hotel because I have because I have Igusa in Arusha.
Yeah.
I will eat food for free. I will sleep for free. He drives me in the car on his fuel, just because we have chosen to be friends. Yet we are apart. So I think what our mentor Uncle Tim always says. Maybe you can quote it. For him, how he defines himself, he says, "I feel like the whole world is my country. Every people everywhere are my people. Loving God and neighbor is my religion." Can you repeat it? So he says, the whole world is my country.
Yes.
Every people everywhere are my people. Loving God and loving my neighbor is my religion.
Wonderful. Thank you, Said, for that. I don't know even what to say after that. That's really powerful. That is really powerful. Sasa navuka mipaka hadi Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Igusa, what is your final comments?
Actually, I would finalize this comment by first by thanking my fellow panelists, but also thanking you, Mr. Wachira, personally for taking this initiative and inviting us. We are pleased and well pleased. We're hopeful that we shall have again more time to come back in this wonderful session. Thank to everyone who has just been popping in some questions and comment and encouraging us for what we do. Today, it might be something small, but in real sense, it's a bigger thing, especially when it goes beyond. My final words would have been the words of Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, where he said, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul and strength, and above all, love your neighbor as you love yourself. For only these are two greatest commandments, not any other." So to me, it teaches me and it reminds me of what is called a vertical love and a horizontal love. You should begin by loving God. You will actually love the fellow neighbors because we all belong to one creator, supernatural being, that's God or Allah. Thank you so much, and I love you all.
Thank you, Igusa, and I can see we are getting an amen from Odoro Mondi. Lovely. Omar, so these are the people you hang out with. That's why you're always smart. When we meet, you're just, hey, you give me shivers because I'm wondering, how do you know this? But now I get to understand. You're hanging out with people who are really knowing what they're doing, and I'm loving it. Omar, also from Kenya, tell us, what are your final comments as we wrap up the show?
Thank you, Ashira, for this chance. It's an opportunity to just be here, speak about Salaam. It's a livelihood. It's not a livelihood really, but it's a lifestyle. I look at it. I give credit to a lot of people, and some of them are these people in this live stream right now. Some of them are from the partners we work with, like you've heard the name Uncle Tim. Yeah, you've probably heard about Gabriel. And we all have people who keep us accountable, people who tell us to just go fight, go put up the fight outside there every single day. If I'm to do some final remarks, I'd say peace is a universal language that is spoken by every region, and we strive for greater harmony, we strive for understanding between people of different faiths, backgrounds. It is important to remember that tolerance is a foundation upon which all peaceful existence is built. Every religion has its own unique teachings, traditions, but at heart, each one lies a deep commitment to compassion, kindness, and respect for others. Whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, a Buddhist, or any other faith, we can all agree that the world would be better
Yes.
if we all tolerate, appreciate our differences, seek common ground, and focus on what unites us than what divides us. We can build bridges of understanding that will stand the test of time, just like our forefathers. So let us make tolerance the cornerstone of every spiritual life and embrace the diversity of our fellow human beings. By doing so, I believe we can create a world where peace, love, and understanding is a normalcy rather than an exception. Remember, as the saying goes, we may have different religions, different languages, different colored skins, but we all belong to the human race. So just as peace is the love language of every religion, tolerance should be the basic principle of every religion. Thank you, Bashir.
Thank you, Omar. You have also gotten an amen from Mary Wanchiku. And a final comment coming in from Saifan Munda saying the final comment, fire, the true definition of leaving a place better than you found it. Nice work, guys. Wonderful. And that's why when I start the show, I always say Dayo, Dayo, Dayo. Dayo in my mother tongue means peace. And I want to appreciate you guys in a very special manner, especially Omar for making this happen. Igusa from Tanzania, thank you for coming in all the way from Dar es Salaam. Ashaba from Uganda, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And the guy saying that they have a better city than us, Saidi, thank you very much for coming to the show. And as I'm wrapping up, I'm also getting a final comment. Somebody saying, Omar, powerful, powerful words. And with that, I like to say it's a wrap. Asanteni sana. Thank you for everybody who has tuned in. Continue sharing so this message can get to where it is supposed to get. Let people hear about Salaam. Let people hear about peace, because this world, it's ours, and we are supposed to live in peace. And therefore, I wish you a wonderful week and a blessed night. And I say, Kumango Goshediri Shumaga Huho, all the way from Southern Africa, that is from the Limpopo, from the mountains of Limpopo, all the way to Sahara, and here to Kenya, from the mountains of Kenya, of Mount Longonot and Mount Kenya, and all the mountains and the rivers that flows in this earth. Dayo, Dayo, Dayo. My name is Motadiwashira Wanyaga, Mojiro Abaria Karigezi. Dayo, Dayo, Dayo. It's a wrap. Thank you, guys.
Every single bit of who you are makes you a true African. And here at African Kona, we get to remind you why you should be proud of it. Together with the two amazing hosts, Washira and Ali, we get to show you every single Sunday from 8 to 9 p.m. what Africanicity is all about. My good name is Miriam Kirui, and welcome.
It's a wrap, come on, boy.